Would you like to see football wherever you are in the world?
With NordVPN, you can get premium protection online and set your location so you never miss a minute of the content you usually enjoy.
Go to nordvpn.com/TSUW to get 72% off a 2-year plan plus 3 additional months absolutely free. Hello, and welcome to the Sheffield United Way match preview. We're going to be talking about Sheffield United versus Millwall on Sky Sports. Well, it's at Bramall Lane, but it's also on Sky Sports Red Button at 7:45 p.m. We've also got a watch along as well. I will quickly bring Hal in to talk about the watch along. How you doing, mate? Welcome to the stream.
Thank you. 7:15. We will kick off the watch along with myself. You'll be at beautiful downtown Bramall Lane. I have drawn the short straw, but we did a poll at the end of last year, didn't we? Whether we should carry on with the watch alongs. It was unanimous that we should. A number of people said it helped them with their mental health, and that meant so much to us that we decided that we would carry on for every game that is on TV.
I was so expecting you to say, but Nick doesn't care about people's mental health, and he just goes to the game.
I mean, I didn't say that.
No, you didn't, but it was in your brain. I can.
It's not. It wasn't. It is now that you've said it. It literally never crossed my mind.
Also, as well, if you don't have Sky Sports and obviously you don't have access to the red button, you can go to nordvpn.com/TSUW. You can get obviously spoof your location. So you're watching from a different part of the world. So you can watch movies, you can watch TV shows that are in America and Australia and all sorts. But also sports. Wink, wink. Also, as well, we're going to bring up members on screen right now. So at the bottom of the screen, they're all the members that we have for the channel. And as well, we are going to be doing member-only content and also member content that will see stuff before other people get to see it. Wow, I really should have.
The word you're looking for is earlier.
Earlier? Oh, I've never heard that word before. What does that mean? Also, not just that, I've put in the comments of the YouTube video and the stream itself link to mugs. You can buy a Sheffield United Way mug. Silly me, I don't have a mug with me right now. Do you have your mug in your room, Hal? No.
No.
I'm sure everybody's seen the mug already anyway. Let's move into the game. So I'm going to talk about Sheffield United 2, Stoke City 1. I'm not going to be talking about it for too long, as always. I'll just pick out the pluses for me. I'm going to be really, really positive from this game. I don't think we were perfect, but the things that I've taken from is the fact that we came from behind to win the game against fourth in the table. That was very, very good. 𝐍𝐸 proving himself to be like a new signing and obviously proves that he's still got a lot to offer. Another striker scoring a league goal. If we're talking 𝐍𝐸's an attacking midfielder or whatever he's going to be for the rest of the season. Sharpie scored a goal. Nobody else has scored a goal. So Moose, it's nice to see Moose score a goal and get himself off to a great start, really, because he didn't really start the season very well, coming off injured in that first game. So it's nice to see Moose come on, score a goal, took it emphatically as well. And really, let's be honest, 𝐍𝐸𝐸 is probably our best striker on his day when he's fit. Obviously that doesn't always come around too much, but we all know how good 𝐍𝐸𝐸 can be. And let's hope we're going to see 𝐍𝐸𝐸 scoring lots more goals this season and staying injury free. So, Hal, I will let you go and talk about last time out. When was it and what happened?
We've got to go back to a day many of us, Nick, remember we left with our heads in our hands, which made walking home really difficult. 13th of April 2019, Millwall scored an injury time equaliser just minutes after missing a penalty. You might remember United had John Egan sent off on 85 minutes. Gary Medine, remember him? His goal looked like it would have been enough to win the game for United, but Millwall continued to press, and a 94th minute diving header from Jake Cooper, who I've always thought looked like a really good defender and one that I wouldn't really have minded seeing at Bramall Lane. He earned them a point. It was a tough day and one that I do not remember fondly. And I do remember watching your video afterwards, actually, taking me back then as well. You were pretty down. That's before I knew you as well. Yeah,
that's crazy. I can't even remember a time when I didn't know you.
That sounds so strange. That was back in the day, when I was living in Gibraltar, and I still used to travel back for the odd game. And do you know what I used to say? I used to say, it's too far.
It's too far. Brilliant. Anyway, shall we get into team news?
Yeah, go for it.
Excelente. So we're looking at pretty much as we were. Reece Davis looking like he's going to miss. Sander Berger looks not far away, but still looks like he's going to miss the game. May see him on the bench, but I doubt it. George Baldock, we saw him on the side of the pitch. He'd obviously he's played a lot of games for the Blades, came out and took his applause very, very well. He looks like he was still hobbling, really, so I can't see George Baldock featuring in this game at all. Freezy as well, can't see him playing. So, like I said, I think it is as it was before this game, and I think we're going to have the similar players. I don't think there's anyone else that's suffered any injuries anyway. So here's my preferred 11. So Olsen in goal, and I think if we have a little patience, we'll continue to see him to be a great signing. Right back, we've got Bogle. I think he'll continue to be good going forward, but let's pray he doesn't have to do any defending because I don't think he's the best of defenders. Enna Stevens, left back, and I think he'll shine with a few more games, to be honest. It looks like he's getting better and better going forward. Egan and Ben Davis being at centre-back is a slight worry for me, as we normally struggle against giants up front like Matt Smith, and he's bound to be playing against us in this game. I think he came on for in the last game for Millwall, so I think they'll have probably watched us and realised that we don't do well against big strikers, big defenders. So I think they'll be coming with a game plan. I've gone with Fleck and Ghediora in the midfield. And after me opting for him for quite a few successive weeks, eventually Slav will pick the solid Algerian, and it will be the greatest day. I think Didsey will come back into the team after his cracking cameo on Saturday. And for me, if I was Slav, I would say, just do what you like, Didsey, because him roaming around that midfield, we're bound to create chances. These days, Morgan Gibbs-White and Ozzy seem to be undroppable, even though Ozzy did come off. So I'm sure we'll see them on either wing. And I've gone with Sharp up front with Moose, but with Moose bagging at the weekend. It could be a new dawn, a new day for Moose. But how did it come to this, Hal? 500 strikers at the club and only being able to trust Billy Sharp. It's just, what's that all about?
I know. And there he is, the man, the myth, the legend, Moose Egg, who just came back and I think, like you say, on his day, fully fit, firing like he was against West Ham, like he was against Manchester United. There is such a quality player in there. Whether we'll see it or not, what we've put on our social media at Sheffield United Way is we've asked the question today, because his contract runs out at the end of the season. United have an option to trigger an extension. Should they exercise that option or let it run out? I mean, you'd lose him for nothing if you do that, and then he probably goes back to France and rebuilds his career. Or do you just sign him up to another contract, even if it's just to sell him? It's a decision that would have to be made by the club, but we've put that question on social media. So follow us at Sheffield United Way and let us know what you personally think to that one.
Yeah, it's a tough one, isn't it, mate? But I think with Slav seems to love him. Slav wants to play him over a lot of strikers. So, yeah, I can see Slav wanting to keep him. But, yeah, we'll have to see if he stays fit, won't we?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. So, Hal, do you want to tell us about Millwall?
Millwall, Millwall managed by Gary Rowett, or Gary Drawett, as they call him. Not the cleverest nickname, but they could be without defender Murray Wallace after the centre-back had to be withdrawn from action the second half against Luton, a match that the Lions actually lost 2-0 due to sustaining concussion, Murray Wallace, so he could still be out. You know what concussion protocol is like nowadays. We'll wait and see. Meanwhile, the likes of Mason Bennett, Connor Mahoney and Scott Malone may be pushing to have a bigger involvement in tomorrow's game, particularly with the latter two players having both sat out that defeat to Luton. Bennett came on as a late sub, whilst George Saville also made his return from injury after missing Northern Ireland's World Cup qualifier in Bulgaria. Other than the aforementioned injury concerns, it's a fully fit squad to choose from for Millwall. You've mentioned Matt Smith. I personally think 𝐍𝐸𝐽𝐸 will actually play up front in this one, and they'll go with 𝐍𝐸𝐽𝐸𝐸, Ballard, Hutchinson, Cooper, McNamara, Evans, Saville, Wallace, the M Wallace and J Wallace. They got the two in there. Ojo, and as I say, 𝐍𝐸𝐽𝐸 up front. And the referee for this one, get your boo boys out, Matthew O'Donoghue. And you ready, Nick? For the last game?
O'Donoghue.
All right, he took charge of our 4-0 hammering, also on Sky, at West Bromwich Albion.
Ouch. It's not his fault, though, is it? It's not his fault.
No, he wasn't playing in goal.
No, he wasn't. Oh, yeah, let's not think about that. Let's not think about that. Because I think I could have done better coming out for some of them crosses, to be honest. But anyway, let's move on and talk about score prediction. Now, neither of us went for a win, did we, in the last game? And we won. Do we go with it again? Do we say a draw? Or do
I talked you out of it last time. You wanted to say 2-1 Blades, and I know you did. And you told me before, and I talked you out of it. So don't ever let me talk you out of what your gut tells you.
No, I won't do. And I've gone a big 2-0 in this game. I've gone for a Morgan Gibbs-White goal. And you guessed it, David McGoldrick.
Were you thinking I was going to sing the song there? You had that look in your eye, didn't you?
No, I didn't. Go on, tell me yours, mate.
3-1, Ben Osborne hat-trick.
Actually, yeah, Ben Osborne, actually. Come on, you gave him a 5. Hal doesn't like you anymore, Ozzy. If you're watching this right now, Ozzy, Hal doesn't like you anymore.
If you had any idea, honestly, can I say why the ratings were such a mess?
No.
Okay,
anyway,
fine.
Let's move on. I'm only joking. Go on.
I didn't know I was doing the ratings until the 70th minute, and I had quite a lot. You know, if you're ever trying to entertain a 6-year-old who just wants to constantly go to the toilet and eat during a football match, you are not taking in everything that is happening. So, don't get me doing the ratings again when I don't know I'm doing them.
Fair enough. That's fine. It was your own fault, in all honesty. You did.
Completely.
Yeah, it was your own fault. Anyway, let's move on to play connections, played for both. I'll go first, and I'll go with the man, the myth, the legend that has been on this channel. That's a horrible place to put a 24, by the way. Who's ever done that? How weird's that? I've never seen that, and I don't even remember that. But Bobby's done really well to find Nick Montgomery in a Millwall shirt, because I don't think people know this, but he only played 2 games, both being sub-appearances for the Lions. Monty made over 350 appearances in all competitions for the Blades, scoring only 9 goals, but goals weren't really his Jonathan Forte, Hal, were they?
I mean, weren't they? Wow, some of those goals were outstanding. That Tranmere one, amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. But 9 goals in 350 appearances, not too many. But when he scored a goal, he scored a goal. But really, like I said, it weren't his forte. I love watching him get stuck in. And he read the game really, really well. I always used to love where Monty used to stand in front of the striker and Morgan would stand behind the striker and they'd sandwich him and they'd win the ball every time. It were a great little ploy. I'm sure that was a Warnock or Blackie sort of ploy. But like I said, he only managed 2 games on loan for Millwall. I'm sure he would have managed a lot more if it wasn't for that calf injury that he told us about on our podcast with him.
Of course, Millwall is kind of infamous with that Warnock documentary as a team that we'd faced. Go on.
Now for Muscat.
Absolutely, as we were saying when we picked up our football content awards. Now, normally Bobby has to press the right buttons here, so Nick is going to be in charge, and I'm going to make it nice and easy for him by saying Paul Eiffel is who I'm going to get.
You didn't need to tell people that. I am capable of clicking a button.
Paul Eiffel, with his one hand, was very famous. I have to say, he did really well for Millwall. 238 appearances, 40 goals, not bad for a winger. He could also play as a striker. Born in Brighton, but came through the Watford youth system, played a little bit of non-league football with Saltdean United, and then joined the Blades in 2005. Stayed for a couple of seasons, 42 appearances and 9 goals. Then went on to Crystal Palace, where he scored the same amount of goals, but in more appearances, and also enjoyed plying his trade over in New Zealand with Wellington Phoenix, where he's still regarded extremely highly. He's also played international football for Barbados.
I love that. I absolutely love that. Do you know when, like, your career's, you're going towards the end of your career and you go to New Zealand to play football? How incredible must that be? It's like going to Australia, America.
It's like going to Australia.
No, but I'm saying, like, your career's bottoming out and you go to some incredible places to play football.
Yeah, where they filmed Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, I was going to mention Bag End then, but then I thought it's probably not the right
My sister went to New Zealand just to do the tour for where they filmed. Yeah, I love it. I know you love it. You got all the tattoos.
I do. Not here, on here, but
Hobbit stuff as well.
Yeah, that's for another video anyway. That's my OnlyFans. Let's move on to Ryan Leonard, and doesn't have a left shoulder either, does he, Hal?
He is lacking in the left shoulder, but he more than made up for it in Thryker's goals he scored, particularly that one for Millwall, actually, when he joined them just after leaving us.
Yeah, not for us, though, mate. Not for us. No, because Leonard was signed for the Blades by Chris Wilder in 2018. We monitored him for quite a while before that, and I think we're all buzzing when we actually eventually signed him. But he arrived at Bramall Lane, and he flagged to deceive a little bit. We saw him score absolute belters. For Southend as well. He scored one at Bramall Lane. I remember that.
I remember that.
Straight off the post. George Long just did not have a clue where that ball was going. But yeah, great strike, but we never saw that in a Sheffield United shirt. But really, I think it's more to do with the fact that how good Coops, Fleck, Norwood and Duffy were in that midfield, because we really struggled to replace Coops. Obviously, Lee Evans came in, did okay for a little bit, and then went off the boil. But yeah, when Norwood came in, it was his position. So yeah, he was only here for kind of 2 seasons, but like kind of 2 half seasons. So only played 16 games for the Blades, but he's played so many more games for Millwall since signing for them. But he struggled for minutes on the pitch this season. Played a few 90-minute games, and then in the last 3 games, he's not really come off the bench much. And in the last game, only had a few minutes. But yeah, it certainly wasn't a miss when we let him go. But I think we actually managed to get money back from him as well. I think we paid about 700 grand and made about 200 grand on him, which you wouldn't have thought.
No, you wouldn't have thought. That was the end of that sentence, was it? Okay, good. I'm going to give you my final one. And also, he's got the same first name, but spells it differently as a man I was speaking to earlier, Martin Roberts, I was chatting to from Homes Under the Hammer. So that's completely unrelated. But Martin Wolford is who we're speaking about right now. Martin. Martin. And Martin Wolford is.
I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what you're going for.
There will be people that know exactly what I'm doing. If you could pop it in the comments later. Martin Wolford, friend of the channel. It was his birthday just the other day. He was a real gentleman when we chatted with him. He was dire for the Blades, and he was the first to admit that. He was.
No need
he
for
was.
That.
He was really. Friend. I know, but he was really poor. Possibly one of the worst players ever to wear a Sheffield United shirt. I almost said red and white shirt, but white shirt in that season, really. Yeah. 28 appearances, 1 goal for us after signing from Millwall, where he was much more successful. 93 appearances and 11 goals. I saw him really tear it up for York when I used to live in York back in the 2006-2008 season. And he was just really good to speak to. Wolford scored against Millwall for Scunthorpe in a playoff final, which he spoke about. He had a really successful career pretty much everywhere except United. And he told us as well, one of his best friends is the one and the only Billy Sharp. So in terms of off the pitch, we've got a lot of time for Martin Wolford. Really, really nice guy.
Not anymore. Now you've absolutely laid into him.
He was terrible for us.
How many goals have you scored for Sheffield United? Exactly.
Well,
moving on. But before we go, Hal, I need to say something. I've dead battered you in this video.
Trying to work out what that means.
I've managed to put 10 song titles
Have you?
into this video.
You absolute legend. I wish you'd told me that before. I would have tried to spot them. So I'm going to have to watch this back.
Yeah, you're going to have to watch it back.
Okay, so that's a reference to Tufty Club, who also just sprinkle liberally through their podcasts occasionally. It's a brilliant podcast. Check it out. Song titles. I really like that. So is Matt onto the? Is he on the case? Take that, fan, by any chance?
Wow, well done, Matt. Well done.
No flies on Matt. Well, I didn't spot any of that, so well played.
Not a Take That fan, but I just thought I tried to think of something that was a band that had done a lot of songs that people would have heard of. Do they not play instruments?
I don't think they do, actually.
I don't know where I was going with that. But I'm glad someone's found that. I put it all in one section, so it's easier for you.
I like to think of myself very much as the Happy Mondays Bez of this channel. I don't really bring a lot apart from morale, or mahal, as we could call it.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah, we're done here, mate. We're done. Thank you very much for watching, guys. We will see you next time. Have a great evening.